There's a near 3-foot hole dug into the Earth's crust to reveal the cylindrical lump of organs that used to be a... Hey everybody, what is up? It is Stan the Man. Welcome back to another Stan the Man podcast. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing just fine. It is Sunday, the 30th of January, 2022. We made it. It's the end of the first month of the new goddamn year, and so far, nothing that bad has happened. I mean, sure, there was the whole volcano in Tonga in the Pacific, but yeah, and there's also rising tension between the Ukraine, Russia, and basically any other freaking NATO ally, but we'll just sweep that under the rug and just focus on literally anything else. I got my tablet in front of me over here. I got my camera, which apparently can record at 60 frames a second. I did not know that until now. I'm just hoping the fucker does not overheat. While I am recording, I am still looking at it right here. Let me just double check Audition, and yes, we are still Gucci. Everything is going fine. That is fucking brilliant. In the meantime, let me just open up my tablet over here and see what the fuck I'm supposed to talk about today. And I put in the wrong password, of freaking course. All right. So, where the hell have I been? What the hell have I been doing the past week since I last uploaded? Well, okay, to be honest, I'm going to be completely frank with you guys. I am working on a video that has many, layers to it. It's going to take at least a couple of months for me to finish, so there is that. It does involve a lot of interviews, a lot of contacting with people and stuff like that, so that may be something to look out for in the, distant future, okay? Well, we've been doing a lot of things. I've been running a lot more. There was this freaking awesome PT session at work, physical training. The sergeant major made us run, in our PT uniforms, which basically is, your shirt, your trousers, and your boots. We had to carry some logs, fucking David Goggins style, right? Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? Well, he speaks a lot more intensely than that. But anyway, it was really fun. We swam outside of the base to the other side, just outside the wall, and then we had to run back into the base. And do some exercises along the way. So that was pretty intense, but I freaking loved it. I've also been running a lot more these days. I've been trying to up my distance so I can shorten the amount of time. I want to do 10K in under 48 minutes. I can already do 10K in 49, and I forgot to put my phone on silence. I can already do 10K in 49 minutes, but I want to drop it beneath 48 minutes. Who the hell keeps messaging me now? Oh, it is kind of my fault. I should have, just put my phone on silent, but, I got no idea what the fuck I'm doing right now, so here I am anyway. So yeah, I've been running. I'm finishing up 48 Laws of Power for the second time. I've already read through it, okay, and it's a very interesting book. It does get a tad bit, look, I'm going to be honest, it does get a tad bit too manipulative. There is a very thin line between actually, retaining useful information that can help you obtain power and also, using that stuff against other people. And that's where I'm a little bit iffy on that whole subject. But it's still a very interesting book. I mostly read it the second time to read little red anecdotes on the other side, just to explain the laws a bit more firmly, or just use an anecdotal example of the transgression of said laws. So that's why I'm reading it through for a second time, and I'm nearly finished. So it's a really great book. Now, the second book that I am going to read after this, I've already read the first chapter and it has caught my interest. It's actually right there in my bookshelf. It is called This Is How They Tell Me the World Will End. Hang on, let me go pick up. It has a really cool design. Give me a second. Be right back. Yoink. Yeah, just look at this fucking thing. It's freaking chonky as hell, and look at the design. I freaking love it. And it's by Nicole Perloff. I think I heard the name before. She used to be an editor, or she used to work for the New York Times. I basically picked this up at Schiphol Airport just before I got back to Aruba, so this is going to be the next book I am going to read. Yeet. Anywho, let's deepen ourselves in the podcast, okay? Now, what the hell happened in these last couple of, weeks or the last couple of days here on the island? Okay, something interesting that happened just a few days ago at the time of recording this, okay? The cable that was cut. Okay, now remember, I have not exactly a beef, but there is a telecommunication company here on the island that its whole motto is called creating connection, but they don't create connection, they create depression. Of course, I am talking about the Setar telecommunication company here on Aruba. Now, shitty coverage and slow internet is just basically just shitty internet and low coverage that just decides to die at the worst of time. Now, to add a cherry on top of this giant cake of fuckery, somebody somehow managed to sabotage a main fiber optic cable, okay? It basically brought multiple government buildings, banks, and even police stations between Playa and San Nicolas just to a grinding halt. All right. It basically caused the near collapse of an already barely functioning monetary system here in the island. Now, I'm going to be honest. You would think that maybe some construction workers doing some road work, okay, possibly they didn't plan out or they didn't see any plans for, whatever the fuck they were digging, accidentally dug through and broke the cable. No, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that you are dead wrong. What ended up happening, okay, on the video they showed, that different news outlets showed on the internet, there is a near 1 meter, that's like 3 feet. There's a near 3-foot hole dug into the Earth's crust to reveal the cylindrical lump of organs that used to be a fiber optic cable. Well, multiple internet fucking cables, and they were cut in such a way that they couldn't simply be reattached. So yeah, sabotage. This was done on purpose. Okay, basically every bank, government building, even police station between Playa and San Nicolas went off their grid, and their online systems were down. I couldn't even make online payments. I couldn't even make online payments. Okay, my rent, I'm gonna have to pay that cash because the transaction just still will not go. But anything else, it seems to be working just fine. Okay, now, and also the police's not security system, but the police's internet system, its online system, just also refused to work anyway. Just imagine you're stuck in jail. Imagine you're stuck in jail and the fucker, instead of booking you, he just pulls out a fucking Rolodex and signs your name somewhere. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, this is as far as we can go. Okay, now this begs the question. Why would someone want to sabotage these cables? There could be multiple reasons, okay? Reason number 1, crackheads are getting smarter. I am not joking. Like, the ingenuity of some of these crackheads are beyond the understanding of us non-crackheads. It's like that meme of not Flash, but what's it called? Like anti-Flash or some shit. My goals are beyond your understanding. This is basically the exact same, okay? Their ingenuity has evolved beyond non-crackhead understanding. Reason number 2, maybe it could have been a disgruntled employee who just so happens to have access to what appears to be a fucking pickaxe. Okay, maybe diamond pickaxe, like an enchanted diamond pickaxe from Minecraft or some shit. I don't know. How the hell did he freaking dig through solid earth in the middle of the night to get to that cable? It must have taken some strength or some anger, also crackhead strength. And okay, the main reason that I can think of right now is somebody simply did not want to pay for their number plate, okay? Now, when you get a car here on the island, you have to get it registered. And in order to get it registered, you need to get a number plate. To get the number plate, you have to pay a yearly fee. Think of it as kind of like a tax on your vehicle, okay? You can either choose to pay it every quarter or yearly. Most people choose to pay every quarter, but most people here on the island don't seem to know how to manage their money, so they end up skipping on the payments. And if you don't pay by the allotted time, you get a fine. So you have to pay even more. And eventually, I think they put out a warrant for your car. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on that. Anywho, for the most people, the last day to pay off, their plate number was approaching pretty quickly, and I'm pretty sure one dude said, "You know what? I have this mighty fine shovel. I don't want to pay my bills, so I am going to cause the near collapse of this island's already barely functioning online infrastructure." What's the worst that can happen? And basically, yeah, that's all right. Look, every single MFA building, anywhere where you actually have to physically go to pay for your plate number, was down. Now you could even pay for your plate number online via online banking, whatever app you use. But their systems were down also. So that's why the last day to pay your freaking bill for your goddamn plate number was pushed to February 4th. Okay, so this dude knew exactly what he was doing, all right? So this dude just did not want to pay for his freaking plate number. Look, my country is it's a beautiful place, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out that we are way behind when it comes to our infrastructure regarding the internet and basically any type of form of connection, despite having damn near one of the best profit margins in the entire South Caribbeans. The government here just usually chooses to invest in projects that to me just seem half-assed. All right, really, they just seem half-assed, or to appease fat, rich white folk who just live on the east coast of the United States, which is where most of our tourists come from. All right, if you think about it, most of our tourists, they come from like Massachusetts or like Boston. Okay, and I don't know, if you think about it really correctly, Boston is just racist San Francisco. They got like the same client and like climate, but I don't know. Yeah, it's basically just racist. It's racist San Francisco. But yeah, that's one thing that's been going on these days. Like, I truly do not get it. Like this, it's a huge issue here in the island. Many people just refuse to pay their bills in order to have like whatever they need. For their cars, example. Do you want to know how many people just are driving around without a fucking license here in the island? It's goddamn mind-boggling. But oh well. Not only are these assholes or these idiots just out there in the real freaking world, but they're also on the internet. I remember one of my colleagues sent me a video of this dude hanging outside the sports center in the town of Santa Cruz here in the island. And that's basically where they do what we call the vacunathon here on the island. The vacunathon is basically where people go to get their vaccines en masse. It's basically where people go to go by the hundreds to get their vaccine. Now, the video shows a dude who kind of looks like he escaped from rehab. He is disheveled as all hell, but he's holding a sign. And I'm pretty sure he put more effort into that sign than literally any other aspects or aspirations in his whole entire life. This thing was painted with hands and everything. Very articulate hands, by the way. I draw a lot, but I suck at drawing hands, okay? Ask any artist. These freaking things that we are cursed to have for the rest of our lives are bitches to draw. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point, okay? Now, the video shows a dude, he's probably, okay, not surprising, like many people, he was basically just protesting against the vaccine, but he just stood outside, like, he's like 200 meters, and he's not like right at the sports center, like right where the line is to get inside, okay? Kind of like those people who like hold up those picket fence, what are they called? Those picket signs. Fucking idiot. Those picket signs outside of abortion clinics, okay? He's doing the exact same, but like far away so people don't see him. So there's basically like no point. He's like nearly, I think his main idea was to try to protest right next to the road, but I don't freaking know, man. So this got me thinking, okay, how many people here in the island are actually against the vaccine or still think this whole pandemic, even though I genuinely believe this The pandemic is not entering its last year. I think this might be the last year that we will see stricter lockdowns and stuff like that. I already tried to explain this in the last episode where the pandemic is basically reaching its endemic phase. But yeah, that's just me being optimistic. Usually whenever I'm optimistic, it tends to blow up in my face. So I'm not going to be too optimistic, all right? You can't be too optimistic, all right? You got to keep your expectations low. That way you'll never be disappointed. If I have kids, I'm going to teach them that lesson really freaking early. Anywho, sidetracking again. So it got me thinking, how many people are actually against the vaccine? Like, how deep does this oh my fucking God. How deep does this rabbit hole actually go? So I basically went to the one place where you can gather and all sorts of information on the average Aruban. Facebook. Now, for those who don't know, I deleted my Facebook on New Year's Day, but I still had to make a dummy account so I can manage my photography and podcast page. If I deleted my Facebook account, I lost everything. I would lose everything. So I had to make a dummy account just so I can access those two pages. Okay. The only way I can access those pages, by the way, the only way I can access my Facebook is if I actually go to Facebook on my computer. I don't have it on my tablet. I don't even have it on my phone, just to make sure I am as far away from it as humanly possible. So I go in there and I started looking around like all these different fucking news outlets, all the different fucking news outlets out there, and see if I can find like any type of story regarding COVID. And golly geez, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I could feel my brain cells begin to commit suicide one by one, just bang, 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 bang. So, okay. Now, one story in particular, I have the notes right here, okay? One story in particular caught my eye, okay? They were interviewing this elderly lady who had been having complications after the vaccine for quite some time, and according to her, no one has even tried to help her. But to be honest, after watching the whole interview, it doesn't look like she was even looking for help in the first place. After about 10 minutes of getting the vaccine, she started coughing, and then she claimed she started throwing up foam like some kind of poisoned dog. Okay, she got wheeled out and passed out. Now, if she passed out and that was happening at a vaccination point, okay, there are multiple people at that vaccination point. I seriously doubt that this happened in front of possibly hundreds of people and not a single person decided not to film it. I find that very hard to believe, okay? There is no proof of her story other than her word. During the entire interview, there are no doctor's papers, there is no evidence of appointments and stuff like that, but I'm willing to give this woman the benefit of the doubt, okay? So those are some of the symptoms that she had. Keep in mind, this lady is a smoker, and people seem to forget the placebo effect is a very real fucking thing. Anywho, but that's not the focus of this segment, okay? The focus of this segment, okay, I screenshotted it. I literally screenshotted it on my computer, emailed myself the freaking picture so I can save it on my tablet so I can see it in the notes. I may put a picture of it in the final edit, but screw it. Okay, let's look at some of the comics. Let's look at some of the comments of this post, shall we? Bang spera e valentia de Senhor aqui por un ejemplo y motivación para más gente por durf di bindilante. Basically, this dude is saying, okay, let's hope the bravery of this woman could be used as an example and a motivation for more people to have the dare to come forward, because there are a lot of cases like this on the island. Bitch, where? Like, okay, when you go to get vaccinated, after you get vaccinated, you have to fill a form. You can fill a form relating any kind of side effects you can get. Okay? The only side effect I got was my shoulder hurt. That was basically it. That was literally the only side effect I had. Anywho. We got like old man Fedora here. Tristo, mitabisabo deve hey gobierno, boso stop ti pushe vacuna. Sad, depressing, I told you, David Hay and government, you should stop pushing the vaccine. Yes, random old man with a fedora, you are important enough for an entire government body to listen to you and you only. Now, Fedora Man commented twice, actually. He commented twice. Bolsonaro para ako después de vacunasyon quanto morto ta kay Padilla, dis check corrant y mayoría gente ng di mas edad. Basically, he's basically saying, okay, has anybody noticed that after the vaccination, okay, how many people die per day? Just check the newspaper. What fucking newspaper are you freaking reading, my guy? And the majority of them are people with old age. Yeah, no shit. Older people are more likely to die due to COVID-related complications. Okay, it is a fact of life. And here's another one. This seems like, I don't know, this seems like a woman whose only freaking life experience is, I don't know, a drum circle. Okay? Pika hasta hindi grande eta voral ng sitwasyon non ku. Oh, actually, no. Okay, I feel bad. Now I feel bad. This is actually a pretty decent comment. Okay, she's actually sad that, especially now this is a very older woman, it's kind of sad she has to go through all this. Okay, I can't argue with her there. Okay, you got me there. You made about 7 or 8 points that I cannot refute. Okay? Now, oh, no. Okay, let me just read it. All right. So this lady basically just goes, okay, and it doesn't only happen with young people. Young people, it's very difficult for me to read and translate it like that, okay? It also affects people's health. Now, after vaccination, people are getting diseases that they've never had before. Señora basically just means lady. Lady, you are very brave. Continue with your case. Nothing wrong over there. But still, I don't think people... the majority of these comments didn't watch the entirety of the interview. The interview is 20 minutes long, actually 22 minutes, but I don't think they've watched the entirety of this interview. This next person who commented, okay, has like, okay, they have Jesus as their profile picture, so you know it's gonna be good. You know it's gonna be good. Yung hand in water. This dude's going in raw, man. Yung hindi no tawari ko ba war senhora. Nangalogra vacunabo ikla. Basically, he's saying nobody cares about you now, ma'am. They vaccinated you, and now you're done. You know what? This is actually. Hang on, let me just check out the computer real quick and see what else they've got. Okay, let me just check out the computer. Do I not have internet? Okay, apparently I don't fucking have internet. Well, I guess I'm not gonna see more of the comments. Anywho, I'm willing to bet that the majority of the comment section of this post or interview is basically just things like this. It is amazing how many people would think that they are experts without having studied the situation, even reading up on the situation whatsoever. Okay, I'm not going to tell people not to get the vaccine. I'm not going to tell people to get the vaccine. At this point, I don't give a shit anymore. If you want to fucking go kill your elderly grandparents, okay, your freaking weak-ass cousin with the asthma, or your weak-ass cousin with the asthma, or your other cousin who complains about freaking things being way too expensive, yet still affords to freaking drive around in an Altezza while living with his parents, okay, now go for it. There's okay. I'm sick of the traffic jams in Tanki Lane. So people, if you really want to just dim down the population, fucking go ahead. But seriously, for the rest of us, please try to stay safe. Get vaccinated, or at least stay clean. To be honest, you would be surprised how many infections can be avoided if people just followed basic hygienic principles. Not only the stay 2 meters apart, but the amount of people who do not wash their hands when they leave the bathroom is asinine. I don't know why the fucking chowder. Have you ever seen Chowder? There's this scene where Mung Dal gets like so mad at Chowder because of him and Schnitzel, he lost like this once in a lifetime fish or some shit. He gets so freaking mad. He goes, Chowder. I get the exact same feeling when I see someone leave the bathroom after taking a dump that made it sound like they were fighting for their goddamn lives and not wash their hands or even use hand sanitizer. Okay, dude, I cannot express how uncomfortable I am going to a bathroom, even pre-COVID. I wipe the seat down before I even sit down on that thing. I saw this post and this meme once on Reddit, and it made me think about like the bathrooms and stuff like that. And it's basically just bathroom graffiti, and some dude wrote down, "Our ass cheeks touch the same seat. We are brothers." And that point, dude, afterwards, I was like, nope, I am going to do whatever I can to stay clean. People are going to think I'm some kind of fucking hypochondriac. Let them think that I'm some kind of fucking hypochondriac, okay? There is some it's called basic hygiene, people. It's 2 minutes of your lives. Just stay clean. That's it. Oh, no, dude, this reminds me of when I freaking flew out to go to the Netherlands. Okay, on my way to the Netherlands, there was this lady in front of me. Keep in mind, not only are we in the middle of a pandemic, we are on a commercial airliner. KLM, to be more specific. We are on a commercial airliner. And this lady, about maybe 20 minutes into the flight, she takes off her shoes and she curls up her feet underneath the seat where I could just see them. And then she decides to take off her socks and I could see her yellow toesies. And she does this freaking thing with her freaking feet the entire fucking time. I'm like, no, senora, what am I gonna do? Nay, don't do that. No, don't do that, please. Oh my freaking god. And it looks like I left the Netherlands at just like the worst time, because just as I was leaving, that's when they decided, you know what, we're gonna reopen everything. Yep. Yeah, there's not much I can really do about that. You know, rules are rules, and sometimes you basically just gotta take it, you know, lick it and swallow it and everything. But fucking hell, I would have really loved to experience, you know, just taking my girlfriend out someplace, sitting down, having a beer outside in the porch, especially during winter. Okay, the space heaters generate just enough heat to keep you warm, so you don't have to like keep a jacket on, but you're still outside enjoying the winter ambiance there. And the winter ambiance in the Netherlands is like really freaking cool. There's not that much snow. The winters in the Netherlands are pretty mild, but they are very, very wet. No, but I'm not joking. It rains constantly there, and to me, that's not a bad thing. Just looking at the streets, like no wind, no sun, just constantly bashing you in the face the whole freaking time. That I enjoy, and the dogs are barking, freaking course. Yeah, but that's pretty much what's been going on these last couple of days. And that it's not only that, to be honest. Like I think I'm noticing a lot of people like young. Yeah, one thing I noticed that there are a lot of people, not my age exactly, but very much younger than I am. Like I'm talking 14, 13, 10-year-olds, right? The amount, no, I actually have a story for this. Okay. I went out to dinner at my parents' place yesterday. Okay. And when I went out there, okay, before we got home, I had to go pick up a little cousin of mine. She's with the Girl Scouts here. And so I got there a bit too early and they're not done yet, so I have to wait. And I'm looking around, the amount of kids I'm seeing just not playing. It's a public park, by the way. There's a huge playground, but there are very few kids in the playground. They're just on their freaking phones or tablets or whatever, and literally just doing everything besides using the park. I'm like, why? And it got me thinking, it's very funny when you think about it. Okay? Us humans, we are possibly the only creatures on the entire planet who have the gift of conscious thought. Okay, we have the capability of asking ourselves some of the bigger questions. Okay, who am I? What am I? Why am I here? All right. I think it was Mark Twain who said there are two important days in your life. All right, the first is when you were born. The second is when you figure out why. But like I mentioned, we are built to think consciously about everything else, but we don't nurture that gift of consciousness. In fact, it seems that we try to dumb down of consciousness with different forms of media and expression. Okay, let me give you some example. Okay, the common consensus among scientists, archaeologists, women, people who like digging up old shit, okay, is that the fermentation and the brewing of beer began about 5,000 years ago as an accidental byproduct from baking bread. Can you just imagine a baker say, I don't know what this shit is, but it makes me feel good. So, okay, now that theory possibly might have been blown out the water because recently archaeologists in Syria discovered a brewery that dates back 13,000 years ago. Okay, and it's as if since we figured out that we have the gift of conscious thoughts, we've been trying desperately to turn these thoughts off, be that with alcohol or these days the internet. Think about it, okay? Think about it. How many people actually turn on Netflix but don't watch anything? They just use it to fill up the silence. People are they forget that silence sometimes is an important thing. Silence is very freaking important. Some of the best ideas people have ever had were in silence. Bill Gates has a cabin in the fucking woods where he freaking writes down his fucking ideas. Okay, 50 Cent wrote Get Rich or Die Trying while he was in jail. Okay, I'm pretty sure it won't be like as quiet. I'm pretty sure you can hear the screams of people who drop their soap. But yeah, you get the fucking point, right? You get the fucking point. We're appreciating less and less how powerful some periods of silence can actually be. Like sometimes it's okay to go run. I love running with my AirPods, with my buds on. Okay, I love running with some music or just putting on a podcast and running. But sometimes it's good to just stay in the silence. And it's not exactly. I wouldn't say it's good, but to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if there is a connection between enjoying silence and actually better mental toughness because you're able to self-motivate or at least be alone with your thoughts without any form of external stimuli. And I think those are very important traits to have as a strong individual in general, not just as a man, woman, whatever the hell you identify as. I think these are very important traits that we need to keep. But we are slowly forgetting. How many memes people post? How many memes do people post about consuming multiple forms of media so they just don't have a single thought? People don't want to think anymore. I think that's kind of fucking depressing, don't you know? Why is life so depressing now that you have to think? You don't even want to think. And the camera overheated. God fucking damn it. Yeah. All right, are you back? Yeah, why did you stop? Anywho, yep. I think I might have to end the episode here because the camera is overheating. Yep. So I'm trying to record in 1080p, 60 frames a second, but I think that might just be a bit too much for the Fujifilm X-T30. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to end this episode right here. After that, I would say a bit of a sour note. Of course, why? Do people who own motorcycles on this fucking miserable rock, okay, did you get any attention from your parents? Is that why you have to fucking rev the fucking thing so loud in the middle of the goddamn road? Anywho, rambling aside, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Remember to stay safe, stay awesome, stay hydrated out there. This is Stan the Man, signing off.